let's take this thing for a drive. I've had it fucking idling for about 20 minutes. Everything's nice and heat soaked. Just how you like to drive cars. I got my power shorts on. Man, these things are short. Let's take a little cruisy cruise.
Okay, find a better photo. There's a little higher.
Alright, let's cruise around some. Trying to keep the noise down in here. It is crazy how quiet this. I mean, it's moderately loud on the exterior, like cruising by or whatever, because it is a straight piped twin turbo V12 with 3-inch exhaust. But turbo's really quiet down a vehicle. Like a lot of people don't understand that. So this thing, I mean, here I'll turn the background noise off, but I mean that's pretty damn quiet. I'm doing 40. I'm about to cruise down this road some. It's not actually 125 degrees. It's just, it was a really bad design for a lot of vehicles to put the they put the temperature sensor, the external temperature sensor, in the under the dash, and I've just had this thing idling for the last like 20 minutes, so it's just like, yeah, I'm hot, help me. But there's a little tiny drone, little just a tiny bit at like 70 to 80, but this thing just gets up and goes. It's cruising good. I thought I fixed my damn SRS light. Next time I turned it on, that thing popped right up. So that wasn't it. Let's see if we can set the cruise. And I've got the scanner here so we can multitask. See how the vehicle's running. But it's feeling good. It's very peppy. Good vacuum. When you get on it, it pretty much immediately starts building boost. And that's at 2,000 RPMs. Very smooth ride, very smooth. I don't know why people would ever put freaking like regular struts on this thing. That is crazy. The fact that I can drive, raise and lower it to the height that I want, you know, lower for like a little sportier, and then if I know I'm gonna go over speed bumps and stuff like that, literally just press a button. That is awesome. I've never had a vehicle where I could do that other than like air ride, and air ride vehicles just you don't feel connected to the road. So I actually I like them from a visual look, because it's nice to go up and down quickly, but from a performance side, I never thought they were. It's like driving a bus or a semi. Like, it's just air. You feel disconnected from the road. But this hydraulic stuff works freaking great. Here I am, 68 miles an hour, tuners on, or not tuner, but scanners on, just to see how it's running. When we come up here, I'm gonna flip a UE and see how things are feeling pole wise. I still have it on baby boost, on wastegate pressure. I don't really have a reason to put anything past that. But it's running good. It feels good. It feels very solid. Feels like a whole ass vehicle. I need to eat some food. I'm starving. Might have to go get me some tacos and then edit some videos, throw some stuff together. Let's see. See if we can hit the decline. A little noisier on decline. lamps come out. Still a little bit of a whine for that transmission. Yeah, listen to that. That is crazy. It could be the idler pulleys. A lot of people said idler pulleys will make that noise. I don't know when the idler pulleys were replaced. I know the belt was replaced probably 15,000 miles ago, maybe a little bit less. But maybe idler pulleys are making that noise. If you have the radio on, you don't really notice it. I just don't want it to grenade a belt, and then leave me stranded somewhere. So at some point they make like billet ones, which is pretty cool. Maybe at some point I'll purchase something like that, but I might just get regular idlers for now, because I think the set is like $450 or something crazy, which sucks. Especially for some freaking pulleys. I do have the wheels that I bought in the shop right now. They are they told me to call them, but I went camping yesterday, so I'm gonna have another video up soon. They called me when I was camping, so I didn't see anything, unfortunately, and so I don't know what they want, either color, or maybe they found more issues with it, which I wouldn't really be surprised at this point. It has been one thing after another with those wheels. They found some bends, unfortunately, which is another couple $100 to fix. I can't return them, which sucks. I can't return them. It's not really worth returning them. So I should have just bought some wheels as is, already refinished, and I would be good to go. But I decided to do it the hard way for likes on videos, so I guess it'll have to do. But got a pull a Yui over here. I'm gonna give this thing the sauce and see how it feels. Hopefully it doesn't pull any check engine lights on the rip. Go into limp mode. I haven't noticed any misfiring. You could still have a slight misfire at some point, but this thing feels like it's running pretty good. Let's do a UE right here. Unfortunately, it hit 13.1 pounds of boost and it still went into limp mode. So now it sounds like a freaking helicopter. Yeah. I'll have to pull to the side, reset this real quick. I was really hoping this wouldn't happen anymore. See what the codes are. Yeah, when it goes into limp mode, it literally kills 6 cylinders. Not a great sound. So the codes say misfire 7, misfire 7, cylinder 9, cylinder 1. So we notice it's misfiring, but on both banks. Let's see. Let's turn it off. Turn it back on. We're back to normal. And it just doesn't like when you go from pulling quite a bit of load. This thing might just need a retune, to be honest. I feel like that's what it is. It's 1,000 RPMs and it said, no thank you. I don't love that. Let's see, what boost did I hit on that one? And I hit 12.7 pounds. So, you know, I'm still gonna bet it's this thing. This little controller right here. Let's pull over real quick. Alright, so we are finally taking this thing on the highway. 90 miles an hour. The speed limit's 80. It's feeling good. Drone is good. AC's blowing cold. Feels good. I'm going to the tire shop that has the wheels to see if they want me to pick a color for the faces that will most likely match the original color, but for Cerakote, because the original ones are painted. So hopefully they have something close enough that we can use to complete the look of the S65 OEM color scheme. And I got to go up to the next big town to do it, so might as well drive this thing. So far it feels good. Got on the highway fine, not showing anything goofy. Hit 10 pounds of boost and it was alright. So we'll see how it does making it there and back. So tune in. Alright, so I made it to Boise. No stops, nothing out of the ordinary with the vehicle. Everything's still running good. This thing does eat fuel like crazy though, I will give it that. But it runs great. I had the scanner on it, just checking stuff, and now I'm almost to the wheel shop. I think I'm going to go to the gym up here, just because I'm already up here, just to get it done for the day. Always going to get your gains in. But man, this thing is freaking sweet. Freaking sweet. So, let's go check out these wheels and see how they look and see what the proposed color is, and hopefully we can get as close to factory as possible. Let's see, what's the name of this place? Hubcap Annie's. Hubcap Annie's Wheel and Tire. They're one of the very few places in the Treasure Valley that can do wheel repairs. So let's pull in and see how things look.
Somebody who's an evil threat to democracy and a fascist liar, because I think that's the thing that they really have been telling them.
Alright, so I stopped by the wheel repair shop. The color that they picked out looks pretty much exactly the same as the original one. So they are going to start working on it. Looks like they had repaired some of the curb rash and started the refinish process. So I'm super excited to see how these come out. Hopefully we keep the price somewhat reasonable, because I'm already in quite a bit on these wheels. So it'll be a while before I can afford tires for sure. So they won't be on the vehicle for a bit, even when they're done. But I am super excited to have them worked on and hopefully refinished and set like new, and then we can start figuring out what size tires we want to run and everything else, and it should be pretty exciting. So now I'm gonna go see if I can find a quote to get this leather repaired, and then I'm gonna hit the gym and hopefully drive this thing back home with no problems. So far, like I said, it's running great. It's actually pretty quiet when you're cruising. Like, I'm a pretty low volume person primarily, and that's pretty cool. So I can still maintain a conversation in here with the straight pipes. Oh, and my new exhaust tips come in today, which is nice. So I'm excited to be able to get those put on probably this week. It'll make this thing a little bit louder, but I'm hoping the drone isn't bad. But I hate how the current exhaust tips look. So if it can rectify that issue, I don't really care. The current ones are like sideways figure eights. They're just a true quad tip would look really good in comparison. So things are looking good. Car's looking good. Car's running good. Let's see if we can get a freaking leather quote. The company I'm going through, there's again not many repair places in the Treasure Valley. The company I'm going through for the leather repair, I got a quote once for them to do a headliner in the BMW that I had, and they wanted an astronomical amount. I ended up doing it myself. It was a lot of work, but we'll see how they are with just a pretty simple leather repair. So tune in, we'll see how it goes. All right, so I got a quote to repair and replace this little piece of leather. They want $439. Whoa, 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 whoa. $439 to repair and replace the piece of leather. And wow, that is expensive. But I don't know, maybe at some point I'll do that. Currently I don't have $439 to throw at a seat. Let's see how this thing goes. Whoa, pretty nice. Yeah, that is freaking pricey. I knew it was going to be up there. I was really hoping it was going to be like 200 bucks, but I forget that we live in 2024 and the dollar goes about a tenth as far as it did in 2015. And I mean, I had a freaking Integra GSR in like 2013 or 14 that was pretty freaking cool, but it had the rare black leather seats, and I had the exhaust work done on it, and the exhaust specialist put a hole in one of the seats, I guess when he was driving out of the shop, and that one was $90 to repair, to put in a new piece of black leather, and it looked like nothing ever happened with those seats at all. So we are up quite a bit on leather repair pricing, a good 450% of what it used to be, and so at this point, at some point I'll replace that leather, but as of right now, I will have to figure out another way. So maybe I'll buy some t-shirts, maybe I'll buy some 3D printed items, some dang coffee cups. I might be able to justify that a little bit more, but as of right now, I just ain't got it. I ain't got it like that. So tune in. What are we doing next? I'm gonna hit the gym. Yeah, I'm gonna go hit the game, see how things go. I know it's not always worth its weight in gold when it comes to calculations of fuel economy, but I'm currently doing 83 miles an hour. It says I'm averaging 19.3. I'm gonna actually see how far I can go on this calculation. I just did the odometer reset. I'm gonna see how far I can actually go on this one tank without beating on it, like without trying to get into boost and stuff like that, just to see how the fuel economy actually is, in regular driving instances. I'm pulling vacuum, going up an incline still, so it's not like this thing just doesn't. It's not like the car from factory has really small turbos. So this actually might be better for fuel economy because it helps me stay out of boost, if that makes sense. But as of right now, like, it says 19.6. This guy wants to pass me and there's people stuck on the side of the road. What a great human being. Good job, buddy. Good job. He looks at me like I'm fucking retarded. Thank you, sir. Nice thin blue line sticker as you endanger people on the side of the road. Yeah, sitting at 19.8. We will go to empty and see how the hand calc works in comparison to the thing. I will say my GPS says I'm going a little bit slower than the car says. I was doing like 90 earlier and my GPS said I was doing about 87. So it is a little bit off. So the distance run versus the distance actually driven is going to be a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, dude, I'm practically whispering. Super quiet in here. There's no drone. Car is mad comfy. Cruise control works great. Freaking hydraulic suspension feels great. Car is just freaking awesome. I do like it. I do like it. Might stick around a while. We'll see. All right, YouTube. Excuse me. I finally got the ugly exhaust off, and I got some new tips put on. Looks way better than before. It's like 9:30 at night, and I just finished eating dinner, so I'm not gonna get on it or anything this late at night. But tomorrow I will do a cold start video with a new exhaust on, just tips, and it sounds a lot better than it did. So tune in tomorrow and I will show you how it is. Sounds pretty good. All right, what is up, YouTube? I have decided to spend more money on this car. So I've noticed I haven't gotten any codes or anything like that in regards to the ABC system, but it looks like I've got a little bit of droopage over time. I just started the car, so it's pretty raised up right now, but I've got some droopage over time on these front struts, and that is usually indicative of a valve block issue. So the valve block's under here. I don't know when this thing was last serviced, so I'm actually going to go through and replace all the accumulators. I'm going to replace I'm replacing freaking everything. So everything except for the lines, and I'm going to replace this one. You can hear the ball joint. I'm going to replace two. I'm going to replace this one ball joint, and I got the other side just because it was a kit. And I'm going to replace this strut in a couple weeks. So I'm going to go through and we're going to document lifting it up, taking off the front half, pulling off the valve block, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. So let's pull stuff apart. I am currently still waiting on the wheels to get finished. I haven't done anything with these wheels. Here's the ball joints. I had to change out the battery for the GoPro. Here's the new ball joints. Orders. Freaking $1,000 in maintenance. Crazy. driven the car freaking 250 miles. Accumulator, or yeah, I think this one's maybe that's the pressure valve. I don't remember. Rear accumulator. What does this thing say? I don't know. I'm trying to guess. Gerschuppe Qualität air chamber. Okay, so this is the air chamber. This is an accumulator. We got another accumulator. This is the air reservoir. I don't even know where this goes, but we're gonna pull stuff apart, see if we can replace stuff. Yeah, let's get this thing jacked up. Let's get this thing jacked off. Get things working. And yeah. All right, so I've got the front two wheels off. I got the jack set up. So I just pulled, oh, I'm still getting some drips. I just pulled some fluid out of this return reservoir or feed reservoir, whatever you want to call it, on the ABC system, since I'm working on that. Let me tighten this down real quick so I don't just get it freaking dripping everywhere. It is a 11 millimeter. Let's just tighten that up real quick while I'm talking. And we're gonna replace this. We got one in the back. We're gonna pull this block off. This is our front to rear valve block. I might have to go pick up some freaking brake cleaner, spray all this stuff down while I'm working on it. But this fluid coming out this thing right now is pretty gross, so this probably does not help with having some lack performance. And as you can see, that strut is losing some of its mojo, so I might have to pull that bad boy off. I will soon, but I was hoping I could get one thing done at a time, so I'm gonna pull all this reservoir off and all this stuff, the pressure accumulator, whatever you want to call it, and see if I can get this thing off here pretty soon. Alright, so I currently have the car running. I just cracked this little bleeder valve, and I'm just letting this stuff drain out as much as I can. Just to get some of this shit out. Obviously you can see this fluid is disgusting, and everything that gets cycled through is pretty gross. And this is just going to be a messy process. So this is supposed to be clear and green. It's pretty grody, so you can still see a little bit of green here, but it looks pretty gross. So I'm glad I'm draining all this stuff out. It sucks that it's $20 a freaking quart, but so be it. I'm gonna pull this bad boy off now. So I got my trusty little bucket now, and I got this reservoir slowly. I think that maybe because this is like one of the low points of the system, I watched a guy do the video for this thing and like nothing came out, but this thing has been spilling for a minute. So you can see the fluid is pretty nasty, so I'm totally fine with it. Just draining out. You do your thing, buddy. But we're gonna change out these accumulators. I'm gonna take this valve block off back here, mark everything. The rebuild kit will be here like this weekend, hopefully. And then I think this is my ball joint that's noisy, so I'll show you how to change out the ball joints too. Oh, looks like we're close to empty. Finally. Just one thing at a time with this damn car. $1,000 in maintenance just to cruise. All right, got the headlamp back on, and I'm underneath. Look, thank God, pulling off this freaking accumulator. So this is where the rear accumulator is. This one's the old one. You can see a little bit of surface rust on it. Excuse me. I have straight pipes on this car. As you can see, no cats, no mufflers, nothing. If there's mufflers on here, you'd have to like drop all these pipes and all this stuff. But luckily for this thing, I can pretty much reach it while everything's on there. Let's see if I can get this hose off. I might have missed I did miss a nut. Well, let me take this nut off real quick and then I'll start this video back up. But there's so much room for activities down here now. I have this thing still dripping. I'll be back in a second. So I got this thing off and I'm looking at it. So the new one that I pulled off the front, this is the new one, and you can't, this is going to be so difficult to show. So let me do this. This one is brand new. It's blued. It's brand new. This one's the one I just pulled off the rear. Yeah, because this one's all a little rusty. So that one you can see the diaphragm. This one's the brand new one. You can see the diaphragm. This one's the one from the front. You can't see the diaphragm. So that means this one's bad, but this one was replaced at 76.8 because this one looks pretty damn new. So, and it has OEM Mercedes markings. So 2,000 miles old and it's gone bad, but this one looks probably factory. What I'm gonna do to save some money is I'm gonna move this one to the front because this one's still working. I'm gonna take this one away, put this one on the rear because it's kind of hard to get to. The front's super easy to get to, and then I'm gonna return one because I have one that's working, one that's new, and one that's not working. Again, I didn't show any codes. The whole reason I took this whole thing apart was because this strut is starting to wear down, and the strut is going out. So you can kind of see the gunk on the strut. You can see I've got some leaking. So that is why this piston's on the way out. It's leaking through. So that's the whole reason I'm doing this. And the front block right here is it needs to be rebuilt because the front two struts are starting to droop over time, over a couple days. So if you rebuild that solenoid right here, it's supposed to mitigate those because it means that is not holding pressure. I'll replace this strut pretty soon, and I got those coming in like Monday, so I'll do that during the week, and then I'm gonna replace the ball joints too, so this thing doesn't squeak anymore. So let me go put that one back on and put the back down and be done with the rear. All right, YouTube, I've been waiting a couple days to pick up this rebuild kit for this front solenoid. So I'm about to clean this thing off, pull it apart, and I'll give you a step-by-step on how to do things. Where did I put my needle nose pliers? Did I put my needle nose pliers over you? Yep. Come on. All right, after a long day at work, I've decided to pull this solenoid out for the front, and I'm gonna rebuild it. The rear was having like no issues, and I read a little DIY on how to replace these solenoid O-rings, and that maybe can contribute to the front leaking down a little bit. So I was thinking I'll just throw something together, make it a cool video. You gotta break these little plastic tabs off, I got this kit from eBay. It was nice and reasonable, and these things are let's mark this just in case, and let's mark this one too. The rebuild kit here was one of the old beginning O-rings. You can see that thing is just toe up. This one looks a little bit better. Oh nope, that one's all cracked like crazy too. All right, let me mark these. They are marked. Where's my paint pen? Let me take a picture too. Oh, got my titties out. So these have little colors to them, but what I like to do is push that like back on, push that back on. And where did I put my paint pen? Oh, there's my paint pen. So I will mark just in case. All right, so here's let's pull these out again. So they just come straight out. That one has a little bit of surface rust on it. That's why I knew that one went there. Let's see if I can push out this old. We floated the river yesterday, and so today I was just beat at work. Okay, there's push. I was beat at work. Dinky piece of plastic in the middle. Don't want to. Oh, there it goes. Here we go. Blink. All right. Let's see if we can twist this. I don't think it's this way. Oh, it is. Okay, and let's see. This is the fun part. Hoping nothing breaks. I do think it was this one that was probably leaking. I don't see anything too other than that little seep through on the solenoid. Let's see. This one's got some gumming. So these pressure seals on. Yeah, that one's got some. I doubt you can see that. Oh, I wish I'd have. Let's see. Oh, let's focus. Yeah, you can see that one's got some pitting. And some notches on the O-rings are pretty warm. All right, let's try to pull this thing out. Come on, baby. Come on. I'm just gonna start this back up in a second when I get these out, because this will be forever. Little cheat code for working on stuff that you want to keep high accountability for is these dang puppy pads. They work freaking great for laying out parts. You get to start with a white surface and see everything. But I got all the freaking solenoids out. Let's see if I can do this. Faces look good on here. There's a little bit of screwdriver action. But the biggest thing is, how do these, I don't see any like wear in here. And these come with little filters. Let's see. Yep, there's the feed. So it comes with a little filter in the front to pick out the big pieces. But this thing looks pretty good. There's another, oh, there's a piece of something in that one. Let's clean this off as much as possible so I don't get grease all over myself. I should go pick up some more brake cleaner. That's what my life lives off of. But what we're gonna do is pull these O-rings off and see how they look. A little bit of corrosion in there, but the fluid looked like shit, so I'm not surprised really at all. These shorter ones, these with the spring, were pretty difficult to pull out. They're definitely sunk in there. But yeah, I don't see any major like looks like these ceiling surfaces will still be fine. I don't see anything extremely out of the ordinary. I do think I'm gonna go pick up some freaking brake cleaner though, because I think I'm out. Spray all this stuff down before throwing it back together. It's got like a freaking something funky in that hole. What are you? Okay, let's get something small. Try not to mess up the yeah, I should go pick up some brake cleaner. Let me put these back together. I'll do the brake cleaner tomorrow before I put everything back together. I'm going to strip each one of these one at a time, rebuild one at a time. But all right, first one. Whoops, first one. Let me put gloves back on. I don't want to get this junk all over me. All right, let me do a close examination on these last two first, because I did that with the other two, and we can go over the issues that might occur. I used to work on a bunch of hydraulic stuff, so this is kind of like my bread and butter when it comes to previous work experience. All right, where's that spring? Boop. O-ring spring, right. Yeah, you can see the PTFE, or you know, whatever they consider the hard. I keep putting away my damn headlamp. The harder material is prone. Yeah, look at all that. Look at all that shit. This one's got a little corrosion on it. We're gonna spray these things down. Look at all that. Getting eight away. And this one's just got some corrosion on it. That's why it was so hard to pull out. All right, I'm gonna pull these apart real quick and we're gonna see if we can rebuild them. Put the new ones on. This little kit that I got was only $40-ish on eBay, and it comes with all new pieces, all new, the rubber ends, the clips obviously, and then you upgrade. So I looked, this looks like neoprene. Oh, this one. This looks like neoprene. It feels like neoprene. So this is the neoprene wipe O-rings that they were before, and then it's upgraded to a harder PTFE, which is supposed to be less liable for having issues with pushing the O-rings over the cylinder or the channels. So instead of the O-ring maybe being able to be susceptible to adverse movement, now it shouldn't be able to. So I'm gonna do the second one and then go pick up some. If I can finish this by tonight, that would be freaking sweet. I got a smaller screwdriver, and all I do is just kind of work under it, loop around and go out, loop under it, go around and out. What you want to make sure is you're not marring the body, so you're kind of pulling outwards while doing this. And take your time so you don't fling these things. That way you can be accountable. For all the pieces. And then as a reference guide for rebuilding these things, what I did was I just did one at a time. So pull one apart, look at it, decide to rebuild it the same fashion as I found it, and then use the second one as a, oh, lost an O-ring. Damn, just as I said, I didn't want to do that. And then just replicate the working one. And do that twice. Alright, this box is filled with old 3D printed stuff. It'll take me an hour to find that shit. I should just go get a hook. But I've spent way too much money on freaking maintenance already, and way too much on tools, so I just don't feel like it. Boop. Alright. This one does have a little bit of pitting. I have to clean this up some. Alright, let me put this back together. Alright, second one is done. Super easy. Took about 4 minutes. Got all the other O-rings minus that one. Now I'm gonna pull these apart real quick. Right quick. Whoa! I didn't realize this whole thing came apart. How do I get this one to do the same thing? Hey, can I pull it? Yeah! I wonder if I can change that O-ring out. Does it come with one? It might not come with that one. It's kind of hard. Alright, let me pull this part real quick and try again. Alright, I got all 4 O-rings replaced, or O-ring sets replaced. I have my wife going to pick up some brake cleaner so I don't have to leave. So I can spray off this block, see if I can clean out any debris, and yeah. Alright, so I put them all back together, I made all the colors match, line the lines up, put the locks back in. Looks like Looks like everything is good to go. I'm gonna put a little bit of this in here, a little bit of that in there. Let stuff seep through for a little bit. Get this thing all nice and soaked in shit. And clean up, because I got work in the morning. All right, so still pulling stuff apart. I have this, it's some sort of pressure regulator. It's for the front cylinder. This one I believe is out because I had a bunch of liquid pour out of it. So I couldn't get it, unfortunately, while it was on the vehicle. It sits right under here at the passenger side. You can see the hoses. But unfortunately that wasn't working to pull it off. I did get this thin wrench, but it's just on there. So I'm gonna have to do some guerrilla tactics to try to get this thing off real quick. But I'll check back in just a second once it's off. All right, after a buttload of work, I finally got the previous one off. So here's the previous one. You can see in there. Whoa! You can't see that well because of the lighting, but it has a collapsed bladder, just like the accumulator did. So here's the new one. As you can see, there's the bladder right there. So this is the pulsation dampener, and I pulled this one off and it had this little plastic piece in it, so I'm gonna maintain keeping that little plastic piece in there. So I'm gonna throw this back together and throw it back on. This is like update 68,000. I'm taking apart the front suspension because I got a squeak somewhere, and I got new ball joints, but just like always, none of this stuff wants to come apart. So I'm actually done for the night. My AC unit broke at my house. So if you wanna help me get a new AC unit, please buy a t-shirt. It helps. But I'm just letting this stuff sit on there for a while. I'll have to replace some boots. I'm only doing those control or lower ball joints. So I'm still waiting on a hydraulic hose to come for the rear. This thing never ends. Side quest time. So my compressor fan went out on my AC unit, so it's been 100 degrees in my house for the last couple days, and I get to replace this bad boy. So watch this. All right, got the new motor on. I'm gonna have to splice some wiring, add in a capacitor, and we're about to be cooking with gas, baby. All right, so it looks like, let's see, that boy's up and running. Sucking and fucking. This poor AC unit's almost 30 years old, so it's definitely close to its end of life, but it looks like I gave it some more life for a little bit longer, so I will take it. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming of this thing.